Fox in Magical Forest. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a magical forest where all the animals lived in harmony. One day, a little fox named Freddie decided to explore the forest beyond his usual territory. As he wandered deeper into the forest, he stumbled upon a clearing he had never seen before. As he entered the clearing, he noticed a peculiar object sitting in the middle. It was a shimmering crystal that seemed to glow in the sunlight. Freddie couldn't resist the temptation and went closer to take a look. Suddenly, the crystal started to shake, and before he knew it, Freddie was sucked into a vortex and transported to another world. He found himself in a magical kingdom that he had never seen before, surrounded by strange creatures he had never encountered. As Freddie looked around, he realized that he was on a quest to find his way back to his own world. But he knew that he couldn't do it alone. So he decided to seek the help of the creatures around him and set out on a journey to find a way back home. Freddie walked for what felt like hours, unsure of where to go or what to do. He felt lost and scared, but he refused to give up. Suddenly, he heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. He turned around, and to his surprise, he saw a group of friendly squirrels emerging from the foliage. The squirrels welcomed Freddie and offered to help him on his journey. They knew of a wise old owl who lived in a nearby tree, and they thought he might be able to help Freddie find his way back home. Together, Freddie and the squirrels set off on a new adventure. As they walked, Freddie couldn't help but feel grateful for the squirrels' kindness. He had always thought of himself as a solitary creature, but he realized that he needed the help and support of others to achieve his goals. After a long journey, they finally arrived at the old owl's tree. The owl welcomed them with a wise smile, and Freddie told him about his predicament. The owl listened carefully, then closed his eyes and meditated for a few moments. When he opened his eyes, he had a solution. The wise old owl suggested that Freddie needed to find the magical portal that would transport him back to his own world. The portal was located at the very top of a mountain, and it was guarded by a powerful dragon. Freddie knew that the journey would be difficult, but he was determined to do whatever it takes to find the portal and return home. The squirrels offered to accompany him, and together they set out on the long journey to the mountain. As they walked, they encountered many challenges, from treacherous terrain to hostile creatures. But with each obstacle they faced, they grew stronger and more determined to reach their goal. Finally, after days of walking, they reached the foot of the mountain. The dragon was nowhere to be seen, but Freddie knew that he was close. He took a deep breath, gathered his courage, and started climbing the mountain. The squirrels followed close behind, cheering him on every step of the way. As Freddie climbed higher and higher, the air grew thinner, and the wind grew stronger. But he refused to give up. With every step, he felt his strength and determination growing. He knew that he was getting closer to the portal and his way back home. Finally, Freddie reached the summit of the mountain, and there he saw the dragon, a fierce and formidable creature with eyes that glinted like diamonds. The dragon let out a deafening roar that shook the ground beneath them. Freddie knew he had to act fast. He stepped forward, trying not to show his fear, and spoke to the dragon. "Mighty dragon, I come in peace. I seek only to pass through the portal and return to my own world. Will you let me pass?" The dragon stared at him for what felt like an eternity, then nodded slowly. "You may pass, little fox," he said. "But beware, for the portal is a treacherous thing, and it may not lead you where you expect." Freddie nodded, then walked past the dragon and approached the portal. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and stepped through the shimmering barrier. As he emerged on the other side, he opened his eyes and looked around, and he saw that he was back in his own world. The forest looked the same, but everything felt different somehow. He realized that he had changed, that he had grown stronger and braver, and that he had made new friends along the way. With a sense of gratitude and wonder, Freddie turned around and saw the portal closing behind him. He knew that he would never forget his incredible journey, and that he had learned a valuable lesson, that with determination, courage, and the help of others, anything is possible. The next day, Freddie woke up feeling refreshed and ready for a new day. He stepped out of his den and saw that the sun was already high in the sky. He realized that he had slept longer than he intended, but he wasn't worried. He knew that he had all the time in the world. He decided to explore the forest and see what he could discover. As he walked, he noticed that the forest was filled with new wonders and surprises. He saw a beautiful waterfall cascading down a rocky cliff, a family of rabbits playing in a field, and a rare flower blooming on the edge of a clearing. As he continued his exploration, he heard a rustling in the bushes. He approached cautiously, ready for anything. To his surprise, he saw a small, frightened rabbit trapped in a thorn bush. The rabbit was trembling with fear and couldn't move. Freddie knew he had to help. He approached the rabbit slowly, speaking in a gentle voice to calm him down. Then, with great care, he untangled the thorns and freed the rabbit from his trap. The rabbit looked up at him with gratitude in his eyes, then scampered away into the bushes. Freddie felt a sense of satisfaction and joy that he had never felt before. He realized that helping others was one of the greatest joys in life. As he continued his exploration, Freddie encountered other animals in need. He helped a lost bird find her way back to her nest, and he showed a young mouse how to gather food for the winter. With every good deed he performed, he felt his heart grow stronger and his spirit soar. As the sun began to set, Freddie returned to his den feeling tired but happy. He knew that he had discovered a new purpose in life, and that he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With a smile on his face, he curled up in his cozy den and fell asleep, dreaming of the adventures that awaited him tomorrow. The next day, Freddie woke up feeling excited to see what the day had in store for him. He stepped out of his den and was greeted by the warmth of the morning sun. He stretched his legs and took a deep breath of the fresh forest air. As he walked through the forest, he noticed that the trees were whispering to each other in hushed tones. He wondered what they were talking about and decided to investigate. As he approached, the trees fell silent and turned their attention to him. Freddie felt a bit nervous, but he stood tall and approached them with confidence. One of the older trees spoke up and said, "Freddie, we have been watching you for some time now, and we have seen the good that you do in this forest. Your kindness and selflessness have not gone unnoticed." Freddie was surprised by the tree's words, but he felt a sense of pride and honor knowing that his actions were appreciated. The tree continued, "We have a special task for you, Freddie. A task that will require all of your bravery and strength. Are you willing to accept it?" Freddie hesitated for a moment, but he knew in his heart that he was ready for any challenge that came his way. "Yes, I accept," he said firmly. The trees nodded in agreement and began to explain the task at hand. It was a dangerous mission that would require all of Freddie's skills and courage. But he was determined to succeed and make his forest a safer place for all its inhabitants. As the trees finished their instructions, Freddie set out on his mission, feeling determined and focused. He knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but he was ready for the challenge. With a deep breath, Freddie plunged into the unknown, eager to prove his worth and protect the forest that had become his home. Freddie traversed the forest with ease, using all his skills to overcome the challenges that lay ahead. He outsmarted a group of sly foxes, befriended a colony of busy bees, and even took on a band of mischievous squirrels. As he approached the final obstacle, he could feel his heart beating faster with anticipation. But he didn't let his nerves get the best of him. He focused on his mission and pressed forward. With one final leap, Freddie triumphantly completed his mission, and the forest was once again safe for all its inhabitants. He returned to his den, exhausted but satisfied, and fell asleep with a smile on his face. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Freddie continued to explore the forest, learning new things every day and helping those in need. He had found his purpose, and he was happy. One day, as he was wandering through the forest, he came across a group of young animals who were lost and afraid. They looked up at him with big, pleading eyes, hoping for help. Without hesitation, Freddie took them under his wing and showed them the way. He taught them how to forage for food, find shelter, and stay safe in the forest. And as he watched them grow and thrive under his guidance, he knew that he had found his true calling in life. And so, Freddie lived out the rest of his days in the forest, happy and fulfilled, surrounded by the friends and family that he had helped along the way. He knew that he had made a difference in the world, and that his legacy would live on for generations to come.